Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. I'd like to welcome to the show Dawn Gallagher. And Dawn is not only a spiritual medium among a multitude of other things, she is also a renowned author. Welcome to the show, Dawn. Why do you laugh?
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, God, why do I laugh? Because I have no ego whatsoever. And yes, I have written a book. And I've published, a few colouring books, which is really good. But yeah, renowned authors. Pushing it a bit, Michelle, but thanks for the heads up.
Hey, more than what I've accomplished there. So take it.
I'm taking it. I'm just going into a different direction of things. So yeah. And we can talk about that another time then.
We can. We certainly can.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So, what do you have for us today?
Well, I was all these stories that spring to mind. So, I would like to talk about spirits using technology to communicate.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It is. So, years ago, I was getting a lift. I think I was going to the airport. Yeah, it was actually. So I said to my mum, can you take me to the airport? I've got to go to Ireland, whatever. She was like, yep, that's fine. So we got in the car and I tried to, turn the radio on. She went, oh, it won't work. It's haunted. Just like you, I howled and I was like, oh, Mum, yeah, okay, whatever. And she was like, I'm serious. I'm deadly serious. It's haunted. Because whenever I go to Liverpool, so we live in the south of England, we're from the north of England. So my mum regularly, the family regularly, journeys back up north and blah, 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 blah. So she gets on the motorway and she said, whenever I get on the motorway, the radio turns on by itself.
Right.
Just like your face, mine was like that. And I'm like, I'm thinking it's probably the wiring's a bit shitty or something like that. There's something to do with that. So I'm kind of, patronizing. Okay, Mum. And she's like, I'm deadly serious. And she said, and the radio stays on all the journey to Liverpool. I get into Liverpool and it doesn't work. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thinking, oh, she's a friggin' lunatic. I swear to God, this woman needs to be sectioned.
Yeah.
She's just,
she's
not all there, God love her. That kind of attitude you have about your parents.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just carried on chatting and I'm thinking, this woman is tapped, I'm telling you, absolutely tapped. So carrying on talking and I'm talking about my daughter and bit concerned about her and she's epileptic and I am genuinely concerned and I say to my mum, do you think I should take her to the doctor? Before she had the opportunity to speak, the radio turned on and whatever was playing on the radio, all I heard was, yeah. I looked at my mum and the radio switched off. I looked at my mum and she went, I told you. I went, fucking hell, no way. And she was like, I told you. She said, it does it all the time. It answers my questions. And I'm like, fuck, I couldn't deny that happened. So I, try and pushing the buttons and bloody thing wouldn't work. And I'm going, freaking hell, this is a bit much. But then the old mind starts working and I'm like, oh, okay. So that led me to when I'm by myself, driving in and out of work or whatever. I think, right, okay, well, I'll start asking it questions. Okay, and just see what comes up. So, I ask stupid questions like, I don't know, give me an example of a question.
Do I need to go to the grocery store after work or?
Yeah, something stupid like that, mundane questions.
Yeah.
And I hear in my head, number one. So I look at the radio channels, you've got your preset keys and everything.
Yeah.
So I press number one, and whatever was playing on the radio on that station would answer my question. I'm like, that's brilliant.
Your car's haunted too.
No. And I'm thinking, shit, is that just coincidence? Okay, so I try it again and I ask another question, another mundane question, and I hear number three, and straight away I press it. Straight away, the response is what I need for the question, and I'm like, oh my God, that is just mental. Another situation happened, and I want to discuss this afterwards, actually, as to why you should never do what I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting. That's a bit of a human story, actually. So I was with this bloke, absolute dickhead, total dickhead. What can I say?
But I'm sure he's a lovely man.
No, he was a total dickhead. So anyway, I was with this bloke and found out he kissed somebody. Okay. So I'm like devastated, absolutely distraught. I was living with him. I'm distraught. I go to my go-to place when I want to just cry and cry and cry, the cemetery. So I go to the cemetery and I'm sobbing. I mean, my God, I can sob for England, snot, you name it.
Oh, yeah.
Whole kit caboodle.
Yeah.
And, I'm kind of like, I'm racked with sobs, and then I start calming down a little bit, and then I think, oh, God, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I turn the radio on, and I shit you not, the lyrics were, "It was only a kiss."
I just got goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty
really impressive.
Yeah.
So all those dead people in the cemetery must have been like, oh God, love her, look at her crying over there. Let's help her out. Anyway, so that was that. It's absolutely incredible. When people say, but I'm asking for signs all the time. My response is, but are you actually hearing them? Because they don't come at you with a frigging big banner and go, ta-da, we're here.
Yeah.
It's really subtle.
You
start taking notice of, the small signs, which actually, in the grand scheme of things, lead up to bloody big banners going, we are still here. We have not left you.
Yeah. That's
that
so
you then
true.
Get a real sense of, my God, we're being looked after. Even though our family and our loved ones are no longer here, we're still being looked after and cared for in our time of need.
Yeah.
And, just to say on that, don't ever diss what your mother says, because you know what? Sometimes they're right.
Do you ever just want to take her car for a drive and ask it questions? Just need to go to the shops, and you just got this really pressing question.
Leave me along, Mum.
Yeah, just got to hit the motorway.
Yeah, just going to Liverpool just for an afternoon drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So it's really interesting. People don't hear the subtle messages that we're getting all the time. And have you ever had that situation when you keep on seeing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You think, what the fuck am I seeing, threes for all the time? Why am I
Yes.
seeing that?
I was literally just thinking about numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So again, that's, you have to ask yourself, okay, why am I seeing trees?
Yeah.
But you have to wait for the answer because that's what we don't give enough time to. We don't sit back and go, okay, sit in silence. Why am I seeing trees? And then you wait for the response. It might be a thought in your head. It might be words in your head.
Yeah.
But you will get the response. But we don't. So we go, why the hell am I seeing trees all the bloody time? And then we're off making a cup of tea, or we're doing this and we're doing that. And spirit are going, well, did you want the answer or not?
Yeah.
You're going to listen to it
or
not? So you have to center your mind and take time out of your busy day to actually hear the breadcrumbs, see the breadcrumbs, and listen to the breadcrumbs. So getting on to listening to the breadcrumbs and me going, okay, well, it was only a kiss. No, he was a total dickhead and I should have got rid of him there and then. So,
but it stopped you from crying. I bet you it stopped you from crying.
Oh, it did. It really did. So in my hour of need, it was needed. But ultimately, just because the spirit world will give you advice, whatever, you don't have to take it. Is my comeback from that one. But in saying that, you know what? I learned so much from him.
Yeah. So
much, as in I learned resilience, I learned inner strength, I learned mental strength, emotional strength. Because of his behavior, it actually enabled me to grow and evolve as a person. Because I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing now if it wasn't for him being a total dickhead. There's all that growth around horrible situations.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the challenge that enforces growth, isn't it? It's the challenge.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't come into this world with all that knowledge. Well, actually you do. But, as we grow up, obviously we don't kind of like bring that knowledge forward from, birth to wherever. Anyway, you get the picture.
Yeah.
But so all that trauma, drama, again, we see it. A lot of people are probably going to go, what the hell is she talking about? But all that trauma and drama, if you step back and see it with fresh eyes and see it with perspective of what did I learn from this?
Yeah. Yeah.
How have I grown from this? How have I evolved from this? Again, you will see a completely different perspective on the situation that has happened. Because ultimately, the reason we're here is for the advancement of the human, to evolve and to grow and all that, and for the evolving soul, that you're a soul person, So your soul is growing and it's becoming more, I can't even think.
It's gaining more knowledge and wisdom,
absolutely,
and experience.
All of that. So we so often sit and wallow and go, oh my God, I've got such a shitty life, la 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 la. Really think about it, really analyze it, and if you asked, and my advice to anybody actually having come from a shitty situation is, if it's dangerous, get out, get the hell out.
Yeah.
Do not stay,
Mm-hmm.
and do whatever you have to do to make you safe.
Mm.
And I'm talking about men and women here.
Mm.
If you're in a toxic relationship with anybody, whether it be a partner relationship or a family relationship, and it's toxic, get the hell away from it.
Mm.
But try and walk away without any trauma attached to you. And the way that you can do that is by looking at it like we've just described.
Yeah.
What have I learned from that?
Mm.
How have I evolved?
Mm.
And walk away without any of the attachments of the emotional trauma. Obviously, you need to speak to professionals.
Mm.
If needs be, if it's damaged you that much, but walk away with fresh eyes to it.
Mm.
I say, to my kids, I'm grateful to the experience,
Yeah.
grateful to it
Mm.
because of how I've advanced emotionally.
Mm.
I have more emotional intelligence. But also, my God, I'm amazing.
Yeah. Well, they're the building blocks that have created who you are today, aren't they?
100%, look at me. I am bloody brilliant.
Mm.
And that advancement could have only have happened because of that situation.
Yeah.
It's the same old thing, isn't it? It's either shit or bust.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bust for anybody because
Mm.
I'm too stubborn for that. So
Mm.
it was literally like, okay, let's soldier on, go through all the trauma, go through all the drama, and like it's like bursting out into a new world, if you like,
Yeah.
all that drama, without all the trauma, and just with pure inner peace.
Mm.
Um,
And have you found, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Have you found as a medium that spirit uses your life experience like a reference library when you're doing a reading for someone? Because, it can draw on what you know because you've experienced it. So when you're doing a reading for someone, you can bring that through. Have you found that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, spirit, when I give messages, so people think, it's like somebody chatting in your ear hole. It's not. It can be imagery, it can be just words, and it can be your own memories. So if I'm showing a memory of that time in my life, I will then know that this person is going through a similar type of trauma.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to advise, how, explain to them, okay, well, can you understand blah, 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 blah? And they go, yeah. And you then give advice and guidance on, how I, got away from it. But also, it's just guidance. It's not telling somebody what to do.
Yeah.
But that's not our job.
Mm.
You can give somebody the tools, but if they don't use it, then that's
their responsibility. Yeah.
It is their responsibility.
Yeah.
But I always advise in any reading like that where somebody's going through particular traumas, please go to see a professional, talk to somebody, speak to a psychologist, psychotherapy, whatever. Samaritans are always really good. All of those kind of like support networks. I'm sure that's Samaritans worldwide. Do you know
I
what
think they are,
Samaritans?
yeah. I think they are like St. Vinny's and all that sort of thing. St. Vincent de Paul,
yeah. So if anybody's in that situation, pick up the phone. And, this is what they're there for. Somebody will always hear you. Just like, in the spirit world where, God, if I'd asked a question to the spirit radio, years ago, am I going to get through this? And say the answer back was, yeah, I'd have gone bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I doubted so much of the information that was given to me at that time.
Yeah.
The repeating messages, It's really funny. This person, I kept on seeing his name. There was a driving school in the name of him. So I would see it everywhere I was driving. I'd be like, for Christ's sake, leave me alone. You
Yeah.
know, it was just in my face all the time. And what have I taken from that? I was being harassed, is what I'm being,
Yeah.
it felt like to me. But no, it was one of the biggest, my God, the biggest, hardest, most profound lessons
Mm,
of my entire existence.
mm,
Going through that trauma and coming out the other end and looking back and going, bloody hell, was I guided?
yeah.
Bloody hell, was I supported? And
Yeah.
half the time, in my head, I'm going, just F off and leave me alone,
Yeah.
because it was so dramatic. Yeah, so we have to start listening to those little
Mm.
whispers.
And sometimes that trauma, I mean, I know in my own example, it was a family trauma that led me to find a way out of my grief and
Yeah.
sorrow, which has got what led me into mediumship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Same here. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. So it's sometimes that is the beginning of a new door opening.
Yeah. Or a new dawn. Pun intended.
Exactly.
But it is absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
As you say, my stepdad died when I was 29. And, as a family, we idolized him. The town that we're from, my God, I still see the lads that, we went to school with who used to come around our house, Boxing Day and all that, just to see us as a family. And they still get really emotional when they talk about my stepdad.
Yeah.
He had a profound impact on anybody he met.
Yeah.
He was incredible. And when he died, bloody hell, that was just, God, he went through so much. He had a brain tumor. So as a family, to actually nurse somebody through that kind of illness, it's just illness, bloody disease, is just horrific. But my God, as I say, the impact that one man has left on so many people, it's just incredible. But if he hadn't have died, I wouldn't have believed. Well, I didn't believe in spirit at that point. I didn't. My mum did, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Typical kid. I was like, all right, mum, bullshit. Snigger, snigger. She's off the head. But actually, yeah, it was profound. That was the awakening, if you like, for me when he died. Did I ever tell you the story about how I kind of trained?
Oh, how you trained?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Did you want to go
So,
into it in this episode, or should we stretch
maybe
that
we'll
out?
keep it for another one. Sorry, guys. You have to come back for another one of Michelle's delightful chats with me. Yeah, so that's another episode. But yeah, no, if it wasn't for him dying, I would not have come into this at all.
Yeah, and obviously you would have gone through an enormous amount of grief and heartache when he passed, but, you still grieve for people even years down the track, but it opened another door for you.
Massive door.
Yeah.
It's just like, God, the endless possibilities of coming into this life are just huge.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, the lessons I've had along the way. And, the thing is with me, I try to control everything.
Yeah.
If we get in the car, I want to drive, because I want to drive the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I'm number one, as in, driving.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things I've learned to do is let go
Yeah.
and go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
And since I've learned to do that, I'm only talking in the last few years,
Yeah.
and I mean it because I was a right control freak, not
Mm.
for other people, but no, I'm going to do it my way, la la la. La. And since I've gone, oh, do you know what? I'm exhausted. You lot
Mm.
do what you want, do what you think's best. My life has fluidity to it.
Yeah.
It flows.
Yeah.
There's no stresses, there's no dramas. And because I can see the dramas unfolding in front of me, I kind of in the back of my head, I'm laughing because I can see it for what it is. And I'm laughing, going, okay, well, it has to play out this way. So let
Let
it
it go.
be.
Yeah, that's it. Let it go. Let it go because there's lessons in it for other people as well.
100%,
Yeah.
and it's that internal laugh which keeps me going forward because I go, oh my God, if I hadn't kind of like just gone to them, okay, well, look, you know best.
Mm.
I've still got free will and I always
Yeah.
will have free will,
Yeah.
but it's so much easier this way,
Yeah.
so much easier because I have faith, not religion, but faith
Yeah.
that my life is like a river and it's got a flow to it. And me trying to swim upstream isn't helping it.
No.
So I've literally just dived in. I'm on my back and I'm just flowing down the river.
Yeah.
It just makes it so much easier. God, where the hell were we going with this? Spirit radio, wasn't it? I always think that they influence the conversation,
Yeah. Yeah.
always, because I just go off on a tangent. I don't know where we're
Yeah.
going with that. But yeah, so go with the flow.
Yeah. And the moral of the
Listen.
story is, yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't know the answer, get in the car or borrow
Hmm.
someone else's car if you don't have one.
Yeah. Don't steal them, but just borrow it. Yeah.
And turn on the radio, ask your
Yeah.
question and turn on the radio.
Mhm. Exactly. Or yeah, your radio at home,
Oh,
digital
yeah.
radios.
Yeah.
So all those
True.
kind of
True.
things. So technology is incredible. In the sense that again, you wouldn't think it was possible to kind of like influence,
Mm.
what's being played, but spirit is frequency.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And radio stations are on radio waves and frequencies and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
That's
So
it. It's their jam.
especially, yeah, you've got the spirits on, mixing desk and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, visions in my head then were just comical. But yeah, so now you've got all of this available, but we expect as humans to have it like slapped in the face. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Those situations where you're kind of like you're home alone
Mm.
and it's quiet, maybe you're reading a book or whatever, and you've got your head down and you see something out the corner of your eye and you look and there's nobody there, but is there?
Mm. That's it.
Or when you go upstairs and you get the sensation that somebody's following you. So you turn around. This is me. This is me. I'm getting scared now. You just turn around and think, who the hell's there? And you run upstairs. I still do that now. Trust me, still.
Yep.
It's because we're feeling their vibration, their frequency, their
Yeah.
energy.
Yep.
That's all that is. But yeah, spirit is amazing.
They are. They are absolutely. It's almost look, and I think what we need to realize is as humans, we play a role. Our role is to be receptive.
Mm-hmm.
Be receptive and open to receiving their frequency, their wisdom, their signs, their information, their knowledge, their presence, whatever that may be for someone.
100%. I was just thinking then as you were speaking, a lot of what we fear is actually our body's reaction to the energy of spirit.
Mm.
So as I've just described, me running up the stairs because I can sense them. It's not because they're scary, because I've physically seen spirit with my eye, and it's
Mm.
just like looking at, me and you. But it's because we can sense what is not physically there.
Yeah.
So again, if we just, I'm laughing before I even say it because I'm like, you silly cow, you're not even going to listen to this one yourself. So if we just calm down a little bit and just go, oh, no.
Or grab the duvet, or for some people in another country, a doona, a blanket. That's the
Yeah,
protection for any spirit, anything,
100%,
horror movie.
100%.
You just need a blanket and everything's fine. You're all good. They won't see
Uh-huh.
you. They don't know you're there. You're
That's so
untouchable.
true. That is so true. Readers, she's actually talking about me here when we talk about this blanket. But it's, honest to God, it's pathetic, really. But you just imagine being, I don't know, you're walking along the street and say aliens landed.
Yeah.
My God, we'd be like,
Yeah.
it's our physical reaction to something which is so profound.
Yeah.
Our body physically takes on that fight or flight thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to get out of here,
Mm.
because I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's our own innate protection, if you like.
Yeah.
Um,
But we fear what we don't
again,
understand, don't we?
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, yeah, get out there, people. Get the radio on. Listen.
Listen, pick a station and get the answer to
Yeah.
all your questions, all your life
Hmm.
questions.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to
Like
hire out
Dow's.
Dawn's psyche car.
Yeah. Actually, it's still on my mum's drive. It's a heap of shit now. But yeah,
Oh,
if you want to hire the car out,
yeah.
you're welcome.
See, it could be $50 for 5 minutes of a sit, one question each.
My mum would look at me and say, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, be a line up down the street. Everyone just wants to have a look at your car.
Mum,
Yeah,
your
famous.
car's famous. So comical. But yeah, technology is incredible. People talk about, the lights going
Mm,
and toys making noises
mm,
and all that kind of stuff. So years ago, completely forgotten about this. Obviously, I had younger kids, and batteries wear out and stuff, don't they?
mm.
And the bloody toy, this toy, I can't even remember what it bloody looked like, but this toy would constantly go off, and I'm like, for Christ's sake, that freaking thing. So I'd take the batteries out and change it again, but it was constantly going.
Mm.
And I think back to it now, and I think, was that them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I was constantly changing the battery.
Yeah.
And in the end, I threw the bloody thing out. I was like, it's just going off all the time.
Yeah.
So, but you have to think logically, okay, are the batteries failing?
Mm.
Don't automatically assume it's spirit. The lights.
Yeah. Or it's haunted. It's a haunted
wiring?
toy. Yeah.
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 Is it faulty wiring? Is it this? You have to think logically.
Yeah.
And if all those answers are, no, it's not that. There you go. It could be something else. So, talking of like lights and stuff, have you ever heard of those spirit balls, cat balls?
Yeah. Yep.
With the lights,
Yep.
it can be like it only reacts to movement. Is that right? Or something like that?
I think so. Or sound? Is it movement?
Sounds,
maybe
something like
Yeah.
that. So you've got these little balls, and they've got lights inside them. And if you just kind of like put them on your desk or whatever on the floor, they'll start lighting up if there's a spirit around, which is so fun. I'm saying it's so fun. I actually went to a weekend in Crewe in Cheshire to this like spiritual weekend. It was fab actually. And we went into this haunted room. Apparently this room is really haunted. Oh my God. I could tell you about that.
Oh, yeah. I love haunted stories.
That was scary. So anyway, there was about 12 of us who were invited into this room at once. You know what I'm like. I'm so scared. It's such a
Yeah, you're the only one that brings a duvet with you for protection. Yeah, just in case.
Yeah. Get away from me! You're not coming near me.
I've got a blanket.
Yeah. So the friend I was with at the time, she'd come over from Miami. She wasn't in my group, and I'm like, God, I can't go in there by myself with nobody to support me. There's 12 women in there, but it's not the point. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going in there by myself. So anyway, I braved it up.
Yeah.
And walked into this room, kind of like, and we all sat around, and some sat on the bed and everything. And it was just a case of we just sit there, feel the room, feel the energy. And they had all of these little cat balls all the way around the room. As we're talking, they're going off. It's like Blackpool illuminations, you know, they're like,
yeah.
And they're all going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, didn't really realize the significance of them. I'm like, a frigging cat ball, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
Then the lights went out on them. They all went dead. And I was like, again, not very impressed with it because I did not understand the significance. And then the woman who's leading the group, because obviously these people knew more about ghosts than I do, and ghost electrical items and all that kind of stuff, because I steer away from all that crap. I'm like, nah. This is my first foray into, you know, ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I say that. I talk to dead people, for God's sake. Anyway, so
I know.
all these lights went off, and they're all going, oh, look, there's no movement. And then they've got all these like EVP.
Oh, the EVP, yep.
Like all the way around the room, and the lights are kind of going like this. And again, not realizing the significance, I'm just like kind of unimpressed. It's just like, so anyway, I desperately needed to go to the toilet. And this woman who's guiding the group in the room, she's going, you know, there's a lot of activity by the door. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got to go past the door to get into the toilet. So kind of like my hackles were up a little bit. I was just like, oh God, you know, a bit scared, but I'm going to brave it because I can't hold this bladder any longer.
Yeah.
So I walk past the door quickly, like rushing, like that's going to help.
Yeah.
And I go into the toilet. I go to the toilet. Then I feel there's somebody in the room with me.
Oh no! Of all places.
As I'm having a wee, and I'm like, I can't shout for somebody to come in because I'm midstream. Really, I was captive audience basically.
Yeah.
And I'm sensing it more and more and more. It's building up, and I can sense it, and I'm like, I've got to get the fuck out of here very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So I finish up what I've got to do. I won't explain that bit. I'm sure you all know how to go to the toilet. So finished. I jumped up. I went to the sink, washing my hands, and I shit you not, I felt somebody lean over my shoulder and kind of like look at me like that. Well, I friggin' ran out of there.
Oh no!
All over the place. I ran out of there, and I burst into the room. I was like, "Fuck that! Somebody's just in there with me." And the woman who's leading the room went, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that." Now you bloody tell me. She said, well, I just wanted to know if anybody would pick up on it. I went, yeah, midstream, I picked up on it. You didn't bloody tell me. So anyway, that was really, you know, but then we were laughing so much, it was hysterical. And then all the lights were going off because the energy was changed in the room, the polarity, the laughter, you know, all the cat balls, and they were moving by themselves. And everyone's going, oh my God. And I'm like, fuck, just incredible, absolutely incredible. So that was that. I mean, that whole experience was so fun. We were there for about 2 hours in the room. Anyway, so they videoed, it was her and this other woman slept in that room.
They slept in it?
Yeah. And I was like, are you mental? Anyway, so they were taking videos of the room all night. This makes me go really kind of like freaky. So they're kind of like just sat there and they're chatting to each other, and there's a video camera, pointing towards them too. So they're there, and then there's the door there. Okay, the door. So they showed this video. This is like a few weeks later, and you can physically see the door open.
Oh, you're kidding.
Slowly, very slowly open. I'm going like goose gumpy. Can't even get the words out. Goose gumpy, kind of like just think about it. But then you see like it's almost like a shadow move across the room. Just incredible.
Did they see it open when they were actually physically in there?
Chatting away. It was only, and that's the best thing about it, is that, they didn't notice it. Only when they look back on the videos, they go, oh my God. Oh my God. But again, it's this fear of what we're not seeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I'm trying to talk myself into not fearing it. Not fearful. It's just my body's reaction is so pathetically dramatic.
Yeah. It's unexpected when you see it. It's unexpected. You don't expect to see it. It's like someone jumping out at you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly.
And your reaction to it.
Yeah. But if someone did it to you all the time, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. So, yeah. And it's not something that you see every day. You don't see spirit every day. You don't feel someone lean over your shoulder and look at you every day while you're washing your hands or while you're in the toilet.
Yeah, that kind of, that was a first for me, I have to say. But it's so true. It's just our body's reaction to the energy, the vibration. I'm trying to explain it visually here. So if you imagine you've got a shimmer, okay, that's them. And this is our shimmer. We're vibrating at a different shimmer rate, if you like. So when I'm talking about shimmer, I mean, that shimmer when it's really hot and
heat waves.
Heat wave. Yeah. So this is our heat wave and that's their heat wave. They're vibrating at this rate. And we're kind of like a bit pathetic down here. That's our vibration. Going.
Yeah.
But then, they come close to us and then all of a sudden we start vibrating because we're connecting.
Yeah.
The energies are connecting. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Your body does not know what it is. So it reacts, as I say, fight or flight. So it's just a case of, understanding that, Dawn, and not being scared of it.
Yeah, that's right, Dawn. I agree. And I know for a fact that there's a very haunted place near you, which I'm hoping to get to one day. And we will make sure we film that. We will audio record. We will just.
You can. You can. Yes, you can. Because I will be nowhere near the bloody place. Michelle, I'll be driving you. Never mind being invited, I'll be driving you. And I'll open the door as we drive past it and I'll freak you out, I'm telling you. So for people who don't know, what she's talking about is literally just down the road, 20 minutes from where I live, there's a place called the Ancient Ram Inn. And it's one of the most haunted places going. So this pub is 1,000 years old.
Yeah, it's really, really old.
Yeah. It's really funny. So I went for a meal for my birthday in July, and as we came to the car park, the bloody pub is right just in front of me. So, I didn't realize it was where we were going. So I took a video for Michelle, and this pub is ancient. I mean, it is ancient. It's well below the level of the ground. It's like about 6 feet down, so you've got to actually go down steps like that to get to it. So over 1,000 years, that's how the ground level is raised up. Just incredible historically as a building. It's not actually a pub anymore because it's so active with spirits and all that kind of stuff. that they just use it for people to come in and, feel the energy, experience the spirit, and scare the frigging life out of people. Which is why I won't be going.
Oh, I can't wait. So exciting. Just even hearing you say it, I'm just like, I just want to be there. But they say it's built, and there is evidence. They have dug up evidence underneath the floors in one of the rooms of a pagan burial ground.
Oh, okay.
So it is actually built on land that, was probably used for rituals and all that sort of stuff. I think they even found old daggers and stuff under there as well. They convinced the owner at the time, if they would just allow him to remove some of the floorboards and dig to see what they could find. Yeah. But yeah, it's mega, supposed to be mega haunted. Even the family that lived there, they talk about so many experiences. And I'm not just talking hearing noises, like furniture, dressing tables moving across the room. Like you're talking big pieces of furniture moving.
I think that's the hard no from me.
Well, the guy that owned it, which I think his daughter now owns it now because he's passed away. I think when he first moved in, he was moved out of bed and flung across the room. So, I mean, and he still lived there for years to come, and it's still in the family. She doesn't live there anymore, but I understand why. But
more fool him for staying there, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
God, so that leads to the question. What is doing that?
Well, Dawn, that is a topic for another episode. Thank you for raising it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you are very welcome.
On that note, thank you so much, Dawn, for joining us on the Medium's Table. Now, where can people find you, and where can they find your books?
Oh, okay. So as always, people can find me on Facebook. It's just Dawn Gallagher, so you might have to scroll through a few people until you get to my beautiful face. But my book, oh well, okay. So the first book is this one.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a guide for researching family trees, because I also research my own family tree for 25 years. So this is available from Amazon. So get yourself over to Amazon. Mm-hmm. Nice little nifty guide for you.
And I've read that book, and it is very, very, there's a lot of depth to that, which I'm like, I know,
it's such a small book, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of that if I was researching any family tree, to go back to those, to there, to the and I'm just like, wow. And in all the information that you may come across that may not be true for different reasons. And I'm like, I don't want to give too much away, but it's like, wow, I never would have thought of that. So,
and this is 25 years of research in my family tree. All the rabbit holes I went down, my God, you can't imagine. It was just incredible. Only to go draw a blank there and, okay, well, how am I going to come back out the rabbit hole and go down another one?
Yeah.
If somebody had if that guide had been there when I first started, I would have known exactly what records to go to look for without going down all these false rabbit holes, Yeah. I joined subscription sites which were all based in America. It's ridiculous. My family's predominantly English.
Yeah.
Until you get to like mid 1800s when it's all Irish.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an incredible tool to have, actually.
Yeah.
Even though I wrote it, it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you need, and also, people can contact me on Facebook and ask for advice on that.
Yeah.
I'm not just a spiritual medium. I am quite knowledgeable about, tracing family trees. And there are so many websites out there, not websites, Facebook groups out there of people who love to be detective. Absolutely love it. We love breaking down brick walls for people. So if you have a particular area that you're trying to, trace your family in, join a Facebook group of that area.
Yeah, yeah.
Put the question on there. Look, does anybody know, my great-great-grandmother, whatever, was da-da-da-da-da. Does anybody know or have any information? Now, you might not get the answer now,
Mm.
Somebody will answer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they'll try digging around, or somebody who lives in the area might go digging for you, so use all
Mm.
those tools available to you. Yeah, it's a fabulous resource. And just for everybody's benefit, that is my great grandmother.
I love that photo.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. Just the
Absolutely
classic,
gorgeous.
like the dress that that the dress, what do you call it? The clothing and all that sort of stuff, that
Yeah,
period.
Victorian clothing.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, love
Wow.
her. Florence Jackson, family of Quakers.
Ooh.
That's another rabbit hole. My God, I went down. Ooh, incredible though. Talking about that very quickly,
Yeah.
talking about rabbit holes and all that kind of stuff. So my dad died. So not only have I lost my stepdad, I lost my dad as well. And at his funeral, I met a cousin of his who I didn't know existed, Kathleen. She is brilliant, love her. Anyway, so we were like gabbing away, and I'm, my genealogy side of me is going, more people to talk to, more information to get from them, blah, 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 blah. So we're like gabbing away, and I'm going, okay, well, what about this and what about that? And da, 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 da. And then we were talking about Florence, and she went, well, there were Quakers. And I'm like, no. And she was like, yeah. I said, but I thought they were from Ireland. She said, they are, but they're Quakers, which means they're originally English and went over to Ireland
Ah,
in the
yes.
1600s to avoid persecution.
Yeah.
But I'd been trying to look at all the Irish records for that family, which they wouldn't be on because they weren't Catholic, they weren't Protestant. They were Quakers and had their own set of records. So, God, yeah, you could just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow. No,
You can tell I
that's,
get excited about that, don't you?
yeah. But it's like just dot to dot, isn't it? Joining the dots.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And how that
100%.
information comes about.
Yeah. Mental. So if my dad hadn't have died, I wouldn't have known. That's dreadful, what I've just said then. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it wasn't his funeral, then I would not have known that piece of information, because nobody in the whole of our family is big, had ever told me that her side of the family were Quakers.
Wow.
Just
There you
opened
go.
up huge.
Yeah.
And I managed to get back to 1600s on that family line.
Wow.
Because of that, yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Jeez. There you go.
So,
thanks,
and then
Dad.
talking about which, thanks, Dad, for dying. It's very kind of you. Not really. So there's my other book.
Oh, nice. That
Yeah.
looks, that's gorgeous. I love that.
So basically, I know it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So I'm branching out into colouring books, and this book has got look at that.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't come with already coloured in pages, does it?
No. I did that. There's another one I've started.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
So as I've got older, that's what I'm kind of started.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I've found that I've kind of done most things, in the sense of I'm bored of watching TV.
Yeah.
I'm bored of, reading, books, or I haven't got the. Don't get me wrong. I in my Kindle, I've got thousands of books. And you could lose me for weeks on end if I was reading a book. I would never talk to anyone. I'd be completely immersed in it. So I've gone past all of that, and it no longer holds any interest for me. Whereas, colouring, again, just allows me that peace of mind and just that center in my mind, and helps with like the creative aspect of me.
Yeah.
The creative aspect did the family trees.
Yeah.
But I've now kind of petered out on that. It doesn't hold that interest for that's wrong. I'm still fascinated with family history, and if I get a hint, I'm like, I'm off. But
Yep.
I won't actively go on there and search every day. Now
Yeah.
it's maybe once a month. But I still need that creative side of me to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a great colorist, because I'm not. I haven't done coloring.
But it's
since
just, it's great. It's almost great therapy though, isn't it? It's good for like calming down, downtime.
It is.
And again, creativity. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this one I did. I actually love this.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. I would remove that and put it in a frame.
Yeah, no.
Beautiful.
I'm good,
so magical.
I know. So that's my publishing name, is Galadron Publishing. For any Doctor Who fans, you will know that Gala is the first part of Gallifrey, where Doctor Who came from, the planet he came from. So this is for the sci-fi weirdos. So yeah, I thought, okay, Gala.
Yeah.
And then Ron, I don't know how the hell I came up with that bit. But yeah, so that's just feeding into my sci-fi brain. But no, I really love it. So yeah, so Galadron Publishing. If you search that on Amazon, then you'll see a few of the books that I'm publishing under that name. But my family tree one is under my name, Dawn D. Gallagher. Yeah, take a look and enjoy, and do get in touch.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Dawn. To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Medium's Table Podcast.